Tries to compensate for the fact that he's not needed by this family. My brother's voice cracked like a whip through the living room just as he lifted the sealed envelope I'd handed him, 3 months of covered rent, neatly stacked inside. Everyone laughed. Everyone, except me. Their laughter hit me in waves, sharp, cold, humiliating, like someone yanked the floor out from under me. The envelope was still half open in his hand, the corner of the first check peeking out, but he didn't even look at it. He was too busy smirking, reveling in the roaring approval of the room. So I reached out, plucked the envelope back from his fingers, and said quietly, "Useful to know." 10 minutes later, the entire house was shaking with their voices as they screamed, "Please listen to us." But I didn't look back. Not once. I should have known Christmas at my parents' house would feel like walking into a memory I'd long outgrown. The living room was overcrowded, warm with fireplace glow and scented candles my mom overused every December, snowy pine, holiday hearth, grandma's kitchen, all competing like they had something to prove. My family sat in clusters, my parents on the couch, my sister perched on the armrest, my brother sprawled like a king in the recliner he claimed every year. Everyone was wrapped in festivity, twinkling lights, red sweaters, forced smiles. But beneath all of it, something felt tight. Their eyes kept flitting toward me, then away. Like they were waiting for something. Or judging. Or calculating. My mom's hand kept fidgeting with the hem of her cardigan. My dad's jaw clenched every time I spoke. My brother wore that bored, passive-aggressive look he'd mastered over the years. And I, like always, felt like the outsider whose role was to smooth things over. To fix. To fund. To make everything easier for everyone but himself. But tonight the air tasted different. Metallic. Inevitable. Like a storm had already decided where it would break. It happened right before the exchange began. My mother clinked her spoon against her mug and said sweetly, too sweetly, "Before gifts, let's all acknowledge how lucky we are that Eli," she gestured to me, "is doing so well. He's been amazing about helping everyone this year." I stiffened. Compliments from my family always came with strings. My brother snorted. "Yeah. Amazing at paying for things." They all laughed. I didn't. Then Mom added, voice thin, "Actually, since we're on the subject, we wanted to talk to you about something important." And there it was. The room tensed. Everyone looked at me. Waiting. My stomach dropped. "What is it?" I asked. My dad took over. "Your brother's been having a rough time. You know that." "Aha. I paid his last 2 months' rent." I knew very well. "So," he continued, "we thought maybe you could help a bit more. Cover the rest of his lease until he gets stable." "Dad," I said slowly, "that's a whole year." "You can afford it," Mom said, like she was commenting on the weather. My brother shrugged, pretending humility he did not possess. It'd really take the pressure off. The guilt hung thick. Heavy. Manipulative. A full year of rent? Just assumed. Expected. Demanded. Something inside me went cold and still. No theatrics. No yelling. Just calm. "No," I said. A single word that snapped every pair of eyes toward me like I'd broken a law. My mother blinked rapidly. "No." "Yes," I said. "No. I'm not doing that." The silence pressed in. My brother scoffed. "Dude. You're literally loaded. That's not relevant." "It's completely relevant," he pushed. "You helping me out is like pocket change." I looked him dead in the eyes. "Then it should be easy for you to figure it out yourself." His face darkened. My parents stared as if I'd announced I was leaving the family forever. But I didn't back down. Didn't soften my tone. I simply leaned back in my chair and said, "I'll help today. After that, it's on you. I didn't know the irony of my words yet. Because the gift I was about to give, was the final one I'd give any of them. I'd been the responsible one since I was 17. When my dad got laid off, I paid groceries. When my brother dropped out of college, I covered his debts. When my sister moved out without savings, I covered her security deposit. When my parents needed just a little help with their mortgage, I wired it instantly. None of it billed as help. It was always duty. Expectation. Obligation disguised as gratitude. I got the good job. The good salary. The stability they all said they were proud of. But what they really meant was, you're our safety net. You'll fix what we break. You'll save us again. And I did. For years. But as I sat there, watching them react to my refusal with shock, offense, disdain, I felt something inside detach. And I realized, they weren't grateful. They were addicted. When I handed my brother the sealed envelope, 3 months of rent, my intention was kindness. A last gift. A final boost. But when he mocked me, when everyone laughed, something in me snapped so cleanly it felt like a bone resetting. I took back the envelope. Tucked it in my coat. And on the drive home later that night, I did the rest, cancelled the automatic transfers, removed myself from the family bill splits, blocked my brother on everything, muted my parents' group chat, turned off the urgent notifications filter I had set for them. They didn't notice immediately. But they would. Oh, they would. Silence is a strange thing. At first, it feels like freedom, almost weightless. Then it becomes presence. Then power. I stopped answering their calls. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped cushioning the blows life threw at them. I focused on myself for the first time in a decade. My apartment felt bigger. My mornings felt slower. My thoughts felt clearer. And the quieter I became, the louder they grew. It began with a voicemail from my mom. "Sweetie, we noticed something strange with the mortgage app, did you maybe forget to send this month's?" Then another. And another. Then my brother, "Dude. Rent is due. Are you seriously still being petty?" Then escalating, "You left me hanging. What the hell is wrong with you?" Then my dad, "Your mother is stressed out of her mind. Call us." After a week, my sister reached out, "Everything's falling apart here. I don't know what you did, but please fix it. Fix it." Always that phrase. As if chaos was my responsibility. As if being born with ambition meant I owed them my spine. But I stayed silent. And the longer I did, the more cracks spread through their system. My sister, Lena, was the first to change. She began texting differently. Less guilt. More honesty. "Hey. I want to understand. Not push. Can we talk when you're ready?" She started picking up extra shifts. Looking for better work. Paying her own bills, something no one else in our family seemed to believe adults should do without me. Over weeks, her messages shifted from needy to thoughtful. "I think I relied on you too much. I'm trying to do better. I'm starting to save. You inspired that. I'm proud of you for setting boundaries." She wasn't perfect. But she was trying. And that mattered more than she knew. My brother went first. Eviction notice. Panicked texts. A dramatic Facebook post, "Some people turn their back on family when we need them most. Guess money makes you heartless." People in the comments offered sympathy. He loved that. Then my mom posted her own vague status, "Sometimes the people you raise forget who was there for them." A GoFundMe appeared a day later. Title, "Help our family in a time of crisis." I didn't donate. I didn't comment. I didn't even click it. Their collapse was not my punishment. It was their reality, exposed. About a month in, my sister called, voice shaking. I need to tell you something. I almost didn't answer. But I did. She whispered, Mom and Dad, they were using the mortgage money you sent. Not for the house. Not always. My heartbeat went still. For what? I asked. Covering for Alex. My brother. Paying his credit cards. His car. His groceries. His everything. My chest tightened. You've been supporting all of us, she said. But mostly him. They never told you because they knew you'd stop. There it was. The twist. The truth. The entire family system was designed around one thing, my brother never having to grow up. And they'd gladly drain me dry to maintain it. I didn't speak for a long time. When I finally did, it wasn't anger. It was clarity. Thank you for telling me. The next week, after my sister confronted them, everyone came crashing down at once. Mom's tearful voicemail, we're sorry. We handled things badly. We need you. Dad's strained message, I should have been stronger. I should have said no to them. Please come over. Even my brother, voice shaky, I messed up. Okay. I know that now. I shouldn't have said what I said. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying. It was the first real apology I'd heard from him in, ever. But apologies aren't erasers. They're doorways. And I wasn't ready to walk through yet. Instead, I focused on rebuilding myself. I got therapy. Started cooking at home. Worked out more. Took weekends off, something I'd never let myself do. I traveled. Took a solo trip for the first time in my life. Learned what quiet joy felt like. I learned boundaries weren't walls. They were doors with locks. And I held the key. My career improved. My relationships deepened. My stress dropped. I felt whole. And for the first time, I realized something simple, I wasn't the backbone of my family. I was the bandage. And bandages aren't meant to stay on forever. 2 months later, I reached out. Not to my parents. Not to my brother. To my sister. Want to grab dinner next week? She responded instantly, yes. I'd love that. She'd grown. She'd changed. And she had earned a place in my rebuilt world. But I told her, I'm inviting the others too. One dinner. One conversation. Then we'll see. She agreed. The plan was set. I didn't know whether they'd show. But part of me hoped they would. Not for their sake, but for mine. They all arrived early. My mother's eyes were swollen. My dad looked older. My brother looked like someone who'd finally hit rock bottom and realized rock doesn't cushion falls. The restaurant was quiet, warm, softly lit. I sat down last. No one spoke until I did. I'm here, I said, because I think we all deserve clarity. My parents nodded quickly. Desperate, apologetic. My brother stared at his hands. I'm not angry anymore, I continued. But things have to change. Mom inhaled sharply. Dad exhaled loud enough to shake. I will not be your financial safety net, I said. Not now. Not ever again. My brother's shoulders slumped. But he didn't argue. I love you all, I said softly. But love isn't the same as self-sacrifice. Silence. Heavy. Important. I will help emotionally. I will show up for dinners. Birthdays. Holidays. I will be present. I looked at each of them. But I will not fix what you break. That responsibility belongs to you. Every one of you. My sister wiped her eyes. My mom covered her mouth. My dad nodded slowly. My brother whispered, I understand. And for once, I believed him. Dinner didn't fix everything. It wasn't meant to. But it shifted something. My parents started budgeting. My brother got a job, then a second part-time one. My sister kept growing, kept stabilizing, kept showing me that change was possible. We weren't a perfect family. We never would be. But we were honest now. Equal. Real. And for the first time, our connection wasn't built on dependence, but choice. And as I walked away from the restaurant into the cool night air, I realized something simple and powerful. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for a family is teach them how to stand without you.